Welcome to Revive Thriveology. I help women transform their lives by harmonizing their living space through holistic home practices. I'm your host, Lisa Morton. I'm a nature-loving designer, dog lover, and I'm health and wellness obsessed. If you're feeling stuck in life, feeling unsettled, disconnected, and just looking for more, then this is for you. Years back, I was at a point in my life where I was struggling so bad with my mental health and wellness. And while I'd started a yoga practice, meditation, and done all these great things for myself, there was still something missing. The key was my home, was my space. In this podcast, we'll be covering topics to improve your home, health, and well-being, such as holistic interior design, feng shui, color psychology, clutter clearing, home organizing, and so much more. I have 20 years in the interior design industry and 10 years as a certified feng shui consultant, and I love to continually learn different modalities to improve your space. Join me as I dive into actionable tips to improve your home in 25 minutes or less. I'm here to help you feel inspired and supported. Join me here every Wednesday for a fresh episode. I have a question for you. How do you feel when you enter your home? Does your energy go up? Or does your energy go down? Does it go up and you feel really good and excited to be back home? And do you feel your shoulders drop? Or do you feel you walk in and it's like, oh my gosh, look at the clutter, look at all this stuff to do? Your home is more than just a place to crash at the end of the day. It's filled with opportunities for who you want to be. In this episode, I'm going to talk about your connection to your home and why it matters, and it's just so important. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Lisa Morton. I help women transform their lives by harmonizing their home through various holistic home wellness practices. So I'd like to start with a story for you today. And this was about my client, Diane, and names are changed. Diane reached out to me. This was probably about 8 years ago. And Diane reached out just like a normal client, scheduled an initial consultation. So I do initial consultations for my clients. You know, we kind of understand the space and what's going on, and then we put together a plan. So I showed up with my samples in hand and arrived ready to go. We did an initial walkthrough, just like always. I ask for an initial walkthrough to get my bearings on the space and to kind of feel the energy as well. And when we did this, I noticed the energy was really low and it just felt heavy. So we're walking through and we get done. We go to sit at the dining table just like normal. I'm going to go through my checklist, going to ask questions and see how I can help her and listen to her needs. But she sat across from me. She sat directly across from me and looked me in the eyes and said, "Lisa, I am dying and I need your help to create a space so that my husband and my children can go on living once I'm gone." Yes, I just about cry every time I tell that story. It was really impactful. And I'm not going to lie, I froze for a moment. I think my jaw may have fallen open because I've never had it. I mean, I've dealt with some heavy situations, but nothing quite like that. But I was like, wow, I need to get this together because I need to help her, because I can help her. I can help her. I can help her family. I can do something for her, and I have to do this. So it was an honor to be a part of this project. So we utilized the Feng Shui 5-element system. So this is how Feng Shui describes the world, these 5 elements. So we have wood, fire, earth, water, and metal. So we want to create a balance of these 5 elements in a space. However, we want to be balanced for the activity in the space. The activity in this space, we had to create a space that was grounding for the children, for the husband, and for her as they go through this process. So she needed some new carpeting, some new pieces of furniture, but we move things around. Like a lot of my clients, I say shop in your own home, because a lot of things you have in the basement or in a closet that we can pull out and really shift the energy of your home. We worked on the carpet. We brought in a really lots of browns and beige, kind of multicolored, multi-speckled carpet in their living room to really bring in the earth element. So the earth element is all about grounding and feeling connected to the earth, which is what they needed so bad at this time. We also brought in the wood element with some decor. They had a beautiful piece of artwork that had a scene of a forest. And we're like, why is this in the back room? Let's bring this out because this will be good for you. Because she was adamant. She wanted her children and her husband to go on living once she was gone. She wanted them to come to a point when they're done grieving so hard to feel renewed. So we implemented some wood element for that. We approached the carpet, as I said, some artwork, some decorative stuff around the house. We moved things around to kind of freshen the energy. I also did a space clearing on the home because, as I said, I could feel it really rather heavy. And also something interesting too, their oldest was off at college, and I went up there and his room is closed. Blinds are drawn. This room is completely sealed off and there's absolutely no energy, just stuck, stagnant energy in that room. And we needed all the energy throughout the space to flow well during this time. So yeah, we worked on it for probably 6 months, creating this space of support for her and her family, and also to bring in an energy of renewal when they're ready for it. We also popped in a little bit of water element for a little fluidity because who knows what's going to happen over the next, it was a couple years before we lost her, but, who knew what was going to happen and how their schedules or lives might have to shift a little bit. So we brought in a water element to be fluid. Okay. So of course the goal was to balance, but for the activity, for what's happening in the space. So as you can imagine, this was huge. I actually was just interviewed and they asked about a significant turning point in my career. And that was huge because I was like, wow, I meant to do this. It was really powerful and fulfilling to me. I'm just so happy that I could provide her and her family with some help. So are you going through something heavy like this? Maybe you are. Maybe you're also just like you walk in and you don't feel a connection to your home. Or you just walk around and you see laundry piles everywhere. Either way, I want you to understand just how impactful it can be when you're mindful of your surroundings. Your belongings not only reflect your personal values and your belief system and what your goals and wishes and dreams, as I tell a lot of my clients, but they're also constantly shaping and influencing who you are. So set it up with intention. So I love to give my clients a journaling prompt, okay? And if you're driving, if you're on a jog, I don't know, you don't have to stop and write. Maybe throw it in the back of your head or take a note in your phone to try to journal on this. I'm a big fan of journaling. So you'll hear me share some journaling prompts. If you're not a fan of journaling, that's fine. Maybe just process in your head. The reason I like journaling, though, is it's really powerful to shift what's going on up in your head and put it on paper. A lot of times when you take it from up here to paper, it totally transforms. You think you're thinking one thing and then you write pen to paper and you're like, wow, this is really different. So here's the prompt. If your home were a metaphor for your life, what is it saying? Now, this is something one of my teachers gave me years ago, and I think it's so powerful. I'll say it again. If your home is a metaphor for your life, what is it saying? Is it saying, we're really trying hard. We're trying to keep it organized and keep it together and just stay positive and fill our homes with things that make us really happy and lift our energy? Or is it saying, oh, I don't know, it's kind of messy, I just don't really care, I don't know what to do with anything, and I feel overwhelmed? What's it also saying to other people as they enter your home? If a guest were coming to your home for the first time, what would they say about the occupants? It's kind of cool to think about. So one more time, if your home were a metaphor for your life, what is it saying? That's my big prompt of today. Prompt number 1, episode 1. That's a good one. So I thought I'd dive into a little bit of background about myself and introduce myself. I've been in the interior design industry for 20 years, and I've been practicing feng shui for, almost 10 years now. And it's been an amazing journey. I got out of design school and I started doing residential design and taking on these residential clients and working for a few other designers. And yes, I had that intern job where I just got coffee and it wasn't very fun, but we all, have to kind of go through that sometimes. But I then progressed in my career. I actually spent several years designing private aircraft interiors. It was super fun. I got to travel around the world, meet cool people, and use amazing products, which was really fun. Really cool finishes and textiles, and it was amazing. I got to work closely with some yacht designers and really high-end residences. It was cool. But I kept thinking the whole time, I'm like, I want to do more, and I'm not sure what that is. I just wanted to do something else, and I felt like there was always something missing. It was when I looked at my own personal passions, yoga, meditation, nature, connecting to the cycles of nature, and a lot of health and wellness, that I was like, wow, this is where I need to go. This is where I'm needed because I have such a passion about it. I can really help people with this. So I started training in feng shui. I trained with Sylvia Watson out of Columbus, Ohio for a while, and then moved into studying interior alignment, which was created by Denise Lin. My teacher was Lou Ann Sibick, and she's amazing. She's just outside of Pittsburgh, and she has Inner Harmony Feng Shui School. Wonderful, wonderful, amazing lady. If you ever get the chance to take a workshop with her, she's really cool. And I hope to have her on as a guest too. But I studied, and then I started getting into learning about space clearings and color psychology, biophilic design, and I realized this is all it. This fills my heart so much, and I can help so many people with this, and I believe this is the future of design. It's always fun to make something beautiful or make something function really well, but if we can make you feel better, improve your health and well-being through design, that's the ticket. That's the golden ticket right there. So if you want to learn more about my work, check out my website, my Facebook page, my Instagram page. There are links in the show notes for all of that. I have all kinds of freebies there too. But to recap, I want to just go over again how your home shapes you. Your home influences you, subconsciously influences you, whether you realize it or not. So take stock in what you're surrounded by. It's easy to go into our spaces and not even realize what's going on around us, realize how the clutter is piling up or how out of control your space might get. But it's so powerful to slow down and really look around. I always say, think about when you go to a hotel. You walk into a hotel and you look around, right? You're like, oh, look at that carpet. That's a really interesting pattern. Or look at that art on the wall. That's kind of cool. But when you walk into your home every day, it's the same thing. You don't see it, but your body is still reacting to it. Your subconscious, everything's still noticing all these little things. So slow down and look. If you're really having a hard time with this, I suggest go outside, go on a walk. Go on a walk around the block and come back, take a few deep breaths, and walk into your front door as if you were a guest. Walk in, see what you see, maybe even have a notebook on hand because your mind will be blown. I know it will. And I'd love to know in the comments what you experience with this and with the journal prompt. Now, I would love your feedback. Send me your thoughts. I want to know what you want to hear about in this podcast, and I want to know your thoughts and your experience with this first episode. Also, with your support, I can create amazing episodes with really cool guests. I have such great people that I'm excited to interview. And with your support, that means I can keep going and I can keep interviewing amazing people. So follow, go ahead over to my Facebook page and follow Instagram and my website. Check it all out and get some freebies while you're there. And I'll see you soon. I'd like to thank our production company, Coraggio Media, the WELT 95.7 studios, and our sponsor, Good Sheet. For more information, follow the link in the show notes. Be sure to hit like, hit the subscribe button, and leave us a 5-star review. If you want to connect, find us on Facebook, and be sure to let me know what topics you'd like to hear about. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.